So Joel, I know that you've been using a GPS now for a while in the field. Tell me about your life before a GPS and how it contrasts today.
My life before the GPS kind of looked like this. My renewals, my referrals, my rejoins, my prospect slips for cold calling with the notes on them, my list, and it was a nightmare because who do I go to see next? Whoever's at the top of my renewal inventory assignment would probably be the next person I would go see, and I found out that was not all that efficient.
But Joel, didn't you, I mean, you've lived in the area you've lived in for a time. I mean, you probably knew where most of these members were. For goodness sake, you renewed them last year, right? Or you sold them last year.
Some of these people I've known for 10 years now. Renewed them every year for 10 years. So I know exactly where the renewals are. The problem came when they would give me referrals, when I'd have renewals that didn't renew and became rejoins, so they were a quarter off the cycle, because rejoins come out 5 quarters after they don't renew. And then, of course, cold calls that I happen to want to pick up in stride may not necessarily be top of my mind. What I found out was I was driving right past people I should be calling on just to go chase a renewal across town. I could have been a lot more productive, and that's where the GPS came in.
And Joel, what's your life like now? And tell me about what it looks like now when you're out in the field and you've got everything loaded into the GPS. What's the difference?
Well, what it looks like now is I'm reminded of every person I have yet to see, short of a fresh cold call that dawns on me. I drive by it and see, oh, I need to call that person. But every renewal, every referral, every rejoin, and every prospect slip that I have yet to see that I've made some notes on that are keepers, every one of those pieces of information is in my GPS and constantly in my face as I'm driving. I can see exactly who's the closest, how they're geographically grouped up, what towns they're in. I can be reminded of times when I need to see them, all of that because of one little piece of technology. The way I use the codes, the way I help myself know what's next to do is I'll call a renewal REN, a referral REF, a rejoin RJ, or a cold call, just CC or maybe lead would be another way to do it. A way to tell me what it is that's next to me. If I just put the address in or just put John Smith, I might not necessarily remember what he is. And we all know as the process of selling our memberships goes on, there's a descending order of priority. Renewals are the most important folks I need to start my day with, to be able to go see the renewal, take the referrals they give me, and then finally end up with cold calling. So if I have only an hour left in my day and a whole number of people to see, knowing if it's a renewal, referral, rejoin, cold call, knowing what that is helps me make the best choice to get all the work done that I need to get done and be productive for the day. Let's enter a referral just to show you what I was thinking. We use Polly Henry. We'll call her a referral in this case. So I'm going to go again to my address, enter her info through the city. So I'm going to put in Chattanooga again. And I'm going to save that. I remember she's at 410 Broad Street. I'm going to add in Broad. There we go. Now, I will save that information, but before I called it Ren Henry Chattanooga. Well, in this case, I'm saying she's a referral in this instance. Referral Henry Chat. Let's say, though, and before I save it, I want to show you one other note-taking feature that I picked up from Rob Pitkin in Texas. Great idea here. I go see Miss Polly Henry at her store. She's not in today, but they tell me that she drives a red pickup truck, a little red pickup truck, and she usually gets in at 9 a.m. What am I to do with that? Well, I would come out normally and make a note physically on the card, on the referral card itself. Maybe I'd make a note on the back. But again, I can't keep up with all of this paper all of the time. It's impossible. 100, 200, 300 renewals, rejoins, 60, 70, 80 referrals at times. It's just impossible to keep up with every piece of paper. This allows me to see everything geographically tied. Referral, Henry, Chat, another space. What if I put REDPU for red pickup, and I put the number 9 a.m. I'm able to keep all that info right where I can see it at all times. So let me show you what that shows up like. On my screen of seeing people under my favorite locations, I will scroll down a few miles to find referral Henry chat red pickup, and if I touch it, it finishes it out by telling me she gets in at 9 a.m. A very quick, easy way to see all that I need to see without fiddling or worrying with tons of boxes, envelopes, and files. To talk about when to put the info into the system and how to manage it and prepare. Because again, the whole point of owning one of these is to be efficient, organized, well-planned, to make the most of my day, to see the most amount of people in the least amount of time. When I get the renewals from the home office, from Dean Adamson, and I am given my renewal inventory sheet at the beginning of a quarter, all of the renewals by address are keyed into the GPS. It takes a little time. It may take me an hour. It may take me an hour and a half on a Saturday afternoon to sit there and enter these in. That time is an investment helping me make money and be efficient as the entire quarter goes on. I'm talking one afternoon, a little bit of time, for 13 weeks. The other part of inputting information is as I obtain referrals, I want to immediately get them into my GPS. If this referral happens to be literally down the street from the person I just sold the membership to, renewal or new, well, go see him. You know exactly where he's at. Go see him. Don't worry about your GPS. Chances are great, though, you're going to end a day of renewals, cold calling, all of it, with a stack of referrals. 2, 3, 4, 10. What do you do with them? That night, this information is keyed into the GPS to be there until I see these people. Now, once I sell the renewal or cancel the renewal, once I see the referral and sell them, or they do not join, at that point, their information is deleted from my system, permanently taken away. So I don't have to keep seeing them. I'm not reminded that they're there. They're cleared from the deck. At night, before I go out, I still plan who I'm going to see first the next day. This reminds me who's close to whom, because it tells me how far each of these calls are and in what direction, northwest, north, south. Well, I know they're not all in the same neighborhood, but what I could do is look for everybody to the north as I scroll through this and pick out that renewal, those two renewals, maybe a referral or renewal that's further down. They're all heading in one direction. I sort them out of my pile, take the renewal cards, take the referral cards, maybe a few prospect slips with notes on it, clip them together, and that's my plan for tomorrow. This will efficiently get me from place to place. Newer models even will route you place to place. You only have to touch it once. It can take you all the way through it. But I still have a plan prepped from seeing where they all are on a GPS map to know where I'm going to go first thing in the morning. The plan can change, but this helps me have a guide. Took me all of, 2 minutes to prep my entire plan for tomorrow of the referrals, the rejoins, the referrals, the renewals, everything that I had, because it was already keyed into my GPS.
So Joel, what I hear you say is that the even though it took you an hour and a half to plan for 13 weeks, that hour and a half saved you planning time every day. I mean, how long did you take to plan your day before the GPS? That hour and a half, you know, that took a lot of your time in planning away. What did you used to spend in a planning session for the next day prior to GPS, and what do you spend now?
As far as the way it used to be and the planning that I used to do before I had a GPS, it was that internal undecided debate. Should I go there? I don't know. Should I go that way? What would be the best way to use my day? And I ended up usually making a fine plan for about 20 or 25 minutes. It took that long to really get things sorted out in my brain because I'm looking at multiple pages. I have multiple stacks of renewal cards and referrals and notes that I've taken. I'm just trying to coordinate it in my brain. Well, why let my brain have that space taken up? Let some computer chip have it, and it will tell me everything, all the things that are headed to the west, for instance. Those are the only cards I pick out because they're already keyed in. That hour and a half or so that I spend the very first weekend that I get the new renewals, and those few minutes, literally, 2-3 minutes of the newest referrals acquired being keyed in each night, the time is saved from not having to spend 20, 25, 30 minutes trying to figure out where I'm going to go tomorrow, or worse yet, planning in the car with paper everywhere and renewal cards hanging out of the dash, off the visor. You know who you are. But they're just falling all over the place. I have a perfect plan, clipped together, ready to go. Could it be changed? Yes. Does it need to be changed? No, because I know they're all in the same general direction.
And no matter where you are during the course of the day, you always know where the closest renewals and pocket of renewals are.
And not only having a plan, but being able to change the plan on the fly. By keeping track of the time when people are in and the color of the car they drive and those kind of notes from what Rob Pitkin taught me to do with this. That's a pretty powerful thing to have had a plan, have these notes made in your GPS to be driving by a guy and be reminded that if you see a black pickup, really, regardless of what time of day it is, he drives a black pickup. To see that black pickup can alter my plan and I can go right back and see him. The number of times that I've been able to see that person that I had no clue I could see because of GPS reminding me, oh, he's one block off the beaten path. I would have stayed on the main road and totally forgotten he was there. But by seeing a little icon on the screen, I'm able to take that turn, see that person, and sell their membership. Much more efficient. All right, where we're going to go is the next guy in the stack, Randy Goins at RG and Associates. So I'm going to go to the GPS. Where to? Again, I've saved all these under my locations, my favorite locations. There he is, Renewal Goins, Chattanooga, 7.9 miles from here. Pull him up and hit go and listen to her tell me how to get out of here. Obviously, I'll follow the voice prompts to listen to turn left, turn right, etc. But I'll also be able to see by the purple line where I need to go next. So do a death-defying move of turning left on Shallowford Road. And then we'll go see Randy.
You know, Joel, this also keeps you safe, doesn't it? I know that I used to look at maps all the time. And
oh, yeah. Talking about looking at maps all the time. Most of us know that feeling of driving with the knees, got the coffee in the one hand and the map in the other, trying to figure out and navigate the country highway. Man, how dumb are we, right? This, put the address in, just listen for when she tells you to turn right. Most GPSs give you an attention tone to tell you that a direction is about to come. Now I've silenced mine. She got a little annoying to me, but it's a ding.
2.1 miles, then turn right onto I-75 South.
Before she tells you the direction that's coming. And by the way, we like the Australian voice on mine. It's just a personal preference, but okay. Yes. All right, well, we just finished seeing Randy Goins, Ren Goins chat. And triple that became 4. He added on a person. Been a member for a number of years. Was able to pull in, see the vehicle he drove, and walk in and see him. So now, what do I do next when I get back in the car? Obviously, I might need some more supplies, that kind of thing for my kit. But to the GPS, I am going to pull him up in my GPS because again, he's still there. He's still the one on top, 0 miles away. We are at his location. I'm going to press on Renewal Goins Chat, and on mine, the edit button's down here. Different GPSs, different places, but I'm going to edit him out, and I'm going to delete him from the system. Do you want to delete this favorite? Yes. And now the next closest one is Renewal Stolpelman in Chattanooga. It clears it out. I don't need to think about Randy anymore other than to do the paperwork tonight, but as far as going back to see him, it's done. It's off the list. It is looking at where to go next. Now that I've deleted Randy Goins from my system, who do I see next? Well, I pull out my stack of renewals, and it says Mark Stolpelman at Stolpelman Plumbing. What I know about Mark, because he's been a member for a few years now, is that late in the day is not good. I could force my way into an interview, but again, I want an engaged interview. I want the best possible circumstances, and I have the chance to see him tomorrow. No harm. So I'll see him in the morning, mid-morning. Other renewals that I can see, I know that Renewal Self is a construction company, and I know that I probably cannot find in the office at this time any of Renewal Newton, Horn, or Rejoin Splawn. Yeah, I spelled that right, Mike Splawn. So I need to press the next screen in furthest away order. Again, different directions. One is 5.9 miles one way, one is 6.5 miles the other way. But to see who might be next in my stack, I can easily find the cards just by flipping through. There are 2 renewals at one spot, Renz, Kraft, and Carter in Chattanooga. They're on Shallowford Road. So let me see if I can find their cards right here. And I did. Margaret Kraft and Wilma Carter. These are first-year renewals, people I have not yet met myself. But let's go. They're at the same address, just different suite numbers, probably a shopping center or office building of some kind. And that's how I make the decision as who to see next at the end of a day when it's 3 o'clock already, another hour or 2 or 3 at the most.
Please drive to highlighted route.
I can be here in less than 15 minutes. You know, one of the questions that comes up and that I have to deal with when I'm tracking and tracing all over for renewals and referrals and trying to see people, particularly with appointments, is if I have enough time where I am to see that other person or two before I go see the appointment. You know, I had yesterday, perfect example, had a guy at noon I needed to see. We set it up for noon, a vet who was willing to see me at noon. Well, I had to figure out by using my GPS if I had enough time to see someone else before I get there. Watch the GPS, for instance. What I want to do is I need to go see, let's say I need to go see Miss Jolly at her location. It's 3.5 miles southeast of here as the crow flies. It's over on Brainerd Road. How long would that take from where I am? It's 3:28 right now, and it says it take me 7 minutes to get there. Well, I told her I'd see her at 4 o'clock, so I've got 25 minutes of a window to get over there. The GPS allows me to go back to where I began and look up my other favorites, choose someone else who's only 1 mile away, Renewal Newman, go to him, and do I want to insert in route as a via point? Yes. Now when I look at this, it's the time it takes me to go from where I am to Newman to the other appointment at 4 o'clock. So I really only have 17 total minutes that I could be getting out of my car to coming back to my car to still be at that last appointment at 4 o'clock. Hope that makes sense, but that's a way that I can hit all the points in between while still being where I promised to be at a certain time. Hey, I'm about to go see a couple more people here on Shallowford Road. Just wanted to show you something. If I back this out, the plus and the minus, let me see the wider shots of the area further back. Let me go one more. I can see that to the left I have Renewal Kathy Chattanooga. To the right, I actually have 2 black dots there. Those are 2 other renewals that I need to see. One, it tells me, is Renewal Hughes. As I get closer to that little black dot, it would tell me what it is. But you can see as you pull back out where other renewals are. Referral Briggs, I got a referral over there and another renewal further down the road. It's just another way to graphically see where you're going and where you need to go. It's kind of a handy thing. So I'm going to go back into my full size and just keep an eye on this as we pull out and start heading to the right toward where these renewals should be, a little bit heading north. I see where there's Renewal Hughes, but I see that black dot that just popped up, Renewals Kraft and Carter. Well, here they are, Margaret Kraft and Wilma Carter. Found the 2 renewals just by seeing them on the map, and I know that a little further up is somebody named Hughes. Hey, we just pulled up to Renewals Kraft and Carter. They're in the same general office center, and went in to find Miss Wilma Carter at Suite 317. Well, we just pulled up to Suite 317 and it's totally empty. Totally gone. Nothing. No sign, no nothing. Well, what do? The GPS got me here. The GPS was efficient, but now I am totally at a crossroads. Well, before I go cancel the card, if a member who obviously likes what we're doing, uses the website, the whole bit, I need to get as much info as I can. So I went to Suite 319 and just asked, hey, do you know anything about it? The guy told me he thinks they moved over to another street about 2 miles from here. General directions, didn't know specifics, but knows that they're still in business, that they still did move, that they're still viable, and he thinks they're over in another area. So now I can take that info and hopefully find this lady. And did find out too by going in there, taking 30 seconds, found out it just happened 3 weeks ago. So I know she's been getting all of her stuff. Everything is kosher, just need to go find her at her new location.